Hey guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. It's your girl Vavaya Karaoke, and today we're doing a get to know me video. I thought maybe because I'm trying to make this comeback into YouTube, I want you guys to get to know me a little better. I know it has really struggled. Like I had been saying, oh, I'll post which day, I'll post what. I'm trying, and here we are. Let's just take it as it is. Give me some grace. Yeah, so I asked a question on Instagram a little earlier in the week just to get to see the kind of questions you guys will be asking. And y'all are serious. Like, you guys are just serious people. The questions I'm receiving, I'm like, whew, so much depth. I thought you were gonna be making jokes over here. I thought you're gonna be asking me questions about OSG wine or cocktails, you know, but it's okay. At the end of this video, you're gonna get to know a lot more about me on a deeper level. And so I hope you will like that, and that you will like, share, and subscribe. So I'm going to start with the lighter questions and then go into the deeper ones, so that at least, you know, I ease you into this thing called Wavaya, okay? The first question is, how are you doing? And there's a lot of them. Kwanza, you guys are just like the sweetest people, because I've seen like 4, 5, 6 or 7, and it's just, how are you? Like, really, how are you doing? And I know that when this question was coming up, it's when I had just told you guys that I've come out of a really funky situation with the depressive episode that I had. So thank you for caring. I want to say that I'm not completely there. I'm still kind of struggling here and there, because I kind of need a routine, which I'm struggling to get into. And so on the days I feel really unmotivated, I can really just sleep all day. So that's why I'm saying I'm like not 100%, but I am working on it. So I really appreciate you guys genuinely caring. It means a lot. But I'll be okay. I'll be okay. I'm not worried about that. I know this is just like a passing cloud. So yeah, that's how I'm doing. The next question is, how old are you? I'm 26 years old, but if anyone asks, I could be 20, I could be 21, 22. Yeah, I'll accept. Because I am 26 years, but I can't keep being frozen in clubs and still accept that age. So I'm going to accept that I am 20 or below. Yeah. What is your favorite fragrance? So this is an interesting question, because I realize that I'm not those, you know, those cultured people who know all the fragrances and they can describe to you the way, like, it even has like a texture in the smell. I'm not about any of that. So for me, it's about sentimental value. So I'm currently using Dolce & Gabbana The One. It was a Christmas present from my boyfriend, so obviously that fragrance reminds me of his presents. So that is, wow, that is so soft of me. But yeah, I really like that fragrance, but I also like the YSL Black Opium one. The short explanation of it is just that it smells like what I would like to smell like, and I think that's okay. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I think that's good enough reason, because I was asked what's my favorite fragrance and why. I wonder, like, if you guys in the comment section, how would you respond to the why part of your favorite fragrance? Because maybe I need to be a little more cultured. So just chanua a babe in the comment section. Then, so about work, what do you do for a living? My best. Okay, I do my best. At the moment, I'm not doing anything. I am trying to work on my content creation part of life. I'm also trying to establish myself as an MC and a businesswoman. Yeah, I'm trying to be an entrepreneur, but I'm still kind of open to work, but I have to accept jobs that are remote, just so that I'm able to take care of myself, my mental health, etc. Yeah. So still on those work questions, still working with Akili Kids. We rarely see you with the squad. Hey, you guys, you even know my squad. No, I am no longer working at Akili Kids. That is why you do not see me with the squad. I am curious to know who the squad members are, because my girls, the girls that I spend a lot of time with, I think all of them worked at Akili at one point. But now we're all out and we still hang out. So if you meant that squad, we still hang out. If you meant another squad, I am curious to know which squad you're referring to. Because maybe there's a squad that Mimi Sijui that I am not, that I'm in and I'm not sure. Yeah, just chanua me also in the comments. But there's also another question about that. Who is it? Oh, are you still a host at Akili Kids? So, if you have a child or a niece or a nephew or a grandchild, and you see them watching Akili Kids, you might still see me, because the shows that I hosted are still being aired. So if that answers your question, I hope it does. That's what it is. So we shot a couple of episodes some time ago, and those are still running. And so maybe I still am a host at Akili Kids, maybe I'm not, I don't know. But if they give me another contract for another show or to renew and add episodes, then yeah, I guess we can talk about it. Yeah, but yes, I think I still am. Yeah, so I think that's, no, there's more. Yeah, this journey has been interesting. Maybe I'll do a whole thing about it. But yeah, how did you handle the transition between being employed to being unemployed? I'm not handling it well, as you can see. I'm sick all the time. The transition for me may have looked abrupt, even for everyone else involved, but I had been wanting to leave. So what I did is that I waited for a time when I had savings that will keep me up until a certain point. So allow me to figure myself out, to get to understand what it is I want to do with my life. And so that was the motivation. So how I've transitioned, I don't know whether there was like a formula. Like I left. I don't know. I left, and then what has been confusing, so maybe that could be the challenge that maybe you're asking about. What has been confusing is, you know how when you're employed, you know that you need to be at the office by 9 or 8, and then you're occupied till about 5 p.m. and then now you head home, then you think about eating, and it's like a whole rhythm that you keep repeating. I'm struggling with that because I have ADHD, which means my mind can really scatter. So with a lack of routine, I tell you, I really struggle. So I have been trying, not successfully, but I've been trying to give myself things to do during the day, so that at least I don't have unproductive days. Another thing I'm struggling with is self-doubt. So in this period, I should be, focusing on creating networks, meeting people, revamping my CV. But every time I try to do that, there's always like a stupid voice in my head trying to tell me, oh, but then you're not qualified for that, or people will think you're so sijui how, are you even stable enough to work? And these are genuine things that I know I'm not the only one who faces. But yeah, so that's the thing I can tell you I'm struggling with, and it has crippled me to the point where I've struggled to apply for jobs. Yeah. So pray for me if you do that. Yeah. So I think that is it for work stuff. Oh, yeah. If you don't mind sharing, why did you resign? Better opportunities change. Not actually because of better opportunities or anything. I think I've explained it a little bit earlier on in the video. I had worked in the company for about 2.5 years, and there's a point you get in your life you feel like you've given the best you can give for the period that you've been there and for the capacity that you were hired in. And I felt like I had done that. So I just didn't know what next, and I was fearful. And I felt like now I was on extra time because first 2022, my mental health was in the pits. I felt like like every day waking up to go do something was so hard. So it was taking so much of my energy. I used to cry so much, and you see, it's like it doesn't make sense. But that's where I was. So I just thought, imagine, babes, take care of yourself, take care of number one. You can't be pouring from an empty cup. And towards the end of my employment, I was pouring from an empty cup, for real. So I thought, maybe let me take care of number one first, figure out what she likes, learn to love her in the space that she's in, and figure out the next step for her. And I think that's the place I am at right now. Yeah, I'm hoping that is it for the career questions. That one was hard. Gosh, I felt like it was a pageant question, those ones that make you freeze and answer stupidly. Yeah. A light one. Will there be Miss Universe Kenya 2023? That's the hope. I don't know how we are doing in terms of like getting sponsorship and stuff, but if things are going okay, we should be able to have it. But I can't really speak on it until I know for sure, so please do not quote me. I also want to see Miss Universe Kenya happening. Obviously, it has put me at a special place in life, and so I would like to see that for another girl, and I would also like to be a part of it. I'd like to be a part of your journey if you're the next Miss Universe Kenya, just so that you can have a big sister to work with. So please do not quote me. My hope is that we'll have one this year, but let's wait and see. Yeah. The next one. Yeah, so there was 2 questions about Miss Universe Kenya, and I feel like I've answered them with the best that I can. If I find out, definitely I'll tell you guys. Like, I'm not gonna gatekeep that information. I think it's an opportunity that any woman who really wants to do it should experience. Do you want a personal trainer? Thank you so much for the offer. At the moment, I'm working with Momentum Fitness, and I tend to get like everything that I need from that gym. So if it's a personal trainer, they are there. If it's classes, which make it easier for me, so I don't have to figure out exactly what I need to do to work out. I know the target areas based on each class. So if I'm feeling like, yeah, my lower body needs work, I'll attend a lower body perform class or a lower body fit class, etc. So at the moment, my fitness needs are being met. So thank you though. Next question. What can someone do when they feel helpless and their life is falling apart? That is a very relatable challenge. There's lots you can do, and it's easier said than done. But if you can, please, and whether you're at the place where you're falling apart or you're not, you need to focus on who's in your very close circle, who's in your inner circle, who do you speak to, who do you spend a lot of time with? Because if your life is falling apart, you need that support system. So you need good friends. If you're friends with your siblings, that also helps. If you can, get therapy, because our brains tend to do this thing where they make you believe that for real, there's no way of getting out of that funk that you're in. But what you need to do is now, first, surround yourself with positivity. Secondly, there's affirmations that will remind you of the truth, because in these dark moments, yeah, your brain tends to lie to you. So my therapist says you need to combat those thoughts with facts. So I'll give an example of my situation. I'm struggling with believing that I am hireable, or like I'm good enough for the jobs that I'm thinking I could apply for, or for the projects that I want to try out. I need to counter that with telling myself, you are good enough, you are actually brilliant, you're very qualified, maybe even overqualified for this role, you're prepared, you can speak, all those things. So these things will help me get to a point of trusting that I can do what it is I need to do. I feel like there's someone at the door. So I'm back. But because I've lost my train of thought, I know this question will be in relation to the previous one. So the question is, what is it like living with depression? another very deep question, like, what, guys, really? Obviously it sucks, because you're unable to produce hormones that kind of balance your happy and sad ones. So in situations where maybe someone who doesn't have the predisposition will be able to handle like a tragic situation or just something bad happening, you may not be able to. So it just means you have to work extra hard to make sure you're at your optimum. And that's why right now, like, I'm gymming, because that helps me produce endorphins, and I actually feel very high after the gym. Like, I'm always just like, oh my gosh, who wants to hang out and stuff, things like that. I surround myself with good friends, which this one, whether or not you have depression, you should, because I feel like they really build you to the point where you can take on anything, because they will support your business if you start one, they will hold your hand through a rough patch, etc. But there's also now things like struggling to get work done, so you have to create a routine for yourself, which is what I've shared that I'm struggling with at the moment. So routines help with both ADHD and depression, because you know how when you wake up, maybe there's a ritual you do. So if you wake up, maybe you shower and then you brush your teeth and then you have breakfast, or vice versa. But there's things you usually do, like your mind just knows this one follows each other. So if you train your mind to do things like that, it'll be able to carry you on when you don't have the capacity in most cases. So yeah, it kind of sucks, but I honestly am very grateful because of the support system around me. I'm glad that I was able to get therapy, because I know that it is kind of hard to get, especially with how much it costs, but I think it's really important. So yeah, the things that you could do to get yourself out of that funky state is the things I've mentioned. Make sure you take a walk, or you work out, or you sit in the sun for a bit, because lack of vitamin D also really takes you into that kind of deep dark phase, and that's why there's this thing called winter depression. So maybe in Kenya we don't experience it that much because our winters are not very dark, or our cold seasons are not dark. But okay, my point was, get some vitamin D. I don't know why I was explaining all that. And then when you're able to start prioritizing, so you need to list the things you need to do. So you figure out priority, the easier ones, and then sometimes when you also list your wins, you realize your life is actually not falling apart. You have more wins than losses. And so gratitude is really one of the things that, one, keeps me afloat, secondly, gets me out of that case situation. I will not negate the fact that getting out of that funk is hard, but it can be done. And for whoever had asked the previous question, I really wish you all the best. I've tried to combine the two. Yeah, just so that, because I feel like they are related, and because I've also been in that dark part, that's how I would handle it. Yeah, I feel like we are coming to the end. So there's a lot of love that I've received from you guys. So first of all, thank you for that. People who are asking to be my friend, I feel like there's ways we can meet up and hang out. So yeah, if I remember telling you that I'm doing, like, I felt like I created friendships through the models masterclass that Nivea Debra had done last year. People I still talk to up to now. I feel like let it be organic, because I feel like if the friendship is supposed to happen, it will happen. So please, if you ever see me anywhere, don't feel afraid to approach. I think I'm better at communication in person than I am on like text. So feel free to holler at me. As long as it's not creepy, don't be that guy. Yeah, we can kick it. Someone asked me if I'm seeing anyone. Yes, I am. And part of the reason why I can say I have a good support system, it includes the man I am seeing. Yeah. So there was one question that came, I felt with a lot of bile, but I'm just gonna address it because I feel like maybe you're probably not the only one who's feeling that way. And the question was, why do you always ignore my messages? and this is probably the only platform or avenue I can reach you. So I feel like a lot of people have always expressed this. In very many situations, I get DMs saying hi. That does not inspire confidence in anyone to respond, because you don't know where it's going. And in times where I've actually responded because I don't want to be that person, I have been met with weird things, pictures, sijui what. So it kind of makes me wary. Yeah, like that was actually quite crazy. It kind of makes me wary of responding to just a simple hi. I feel like if you are trying to reach out about business or collaboration or working together, put it out. Yeah, if you are reaching out to a brand, for example, and you wanted them to collaborate with you on a project, you go there and you introduce yourself. You tell them, this is what I'm interested in doing, this is what I do, and I'd like to work with you on this capacity. That will make them want to respond and figure out, okay, this person could be onto something, let's have a chat further. So I feel like it's the same way. If I don't know you, and you want to discuss something like business related or, you know, something professional, just give me a bit of a brief of what we are about to get into, so I know what I'm getting into. Because I won't lie, I go in with a lot of fear, bruh, that the Instagram streets have shown me. So it never comes from a bad place. It just comes from a place of, please tell me what it is you want to talk about, then we can go from there. Sometimes even when you start off chatting about something work related, you end up finding out, oh, you actually have a lot in common with this person. So on top of working together, you can be friends. Or if the thing doesn't even work out, you still realize that yeah, you can meet in other forums, or you can push it to a time when both of you are ready to do it. And that is not to say that you come pretending that you have a job offer or a business discussion you want to have as a way to get to know me. That's weird. So let's just be nice. You understand? Yeah. If you have something to say, if you say, oh, I wanna like Nini congratulate you on something, that's a place to start. If you want to say, just spread good vibes. Yeah, if you just want to spread good vibes, if you want to tell me, oh I loved this reel, that's fine. That's acceptable, rather than just coming with a hi and then you get angry with me because PTSD, my guys, PTSD. Yeah. So I don't know, I am not sure whether there are any more questions. Yeah, a lot of you really asked how I was doing, so no, I appreciate. You are the best. We have come to the end of the video. Thank you so much for engaging with me. Thank you so much for the deep questions. I guess now I can see where you place me in your minds. And that really means a lot. So I hope we can get to know each other better in the next coming days. So hopefully you enjoyed this video. And if you did, remember to like, share, and subscribe. And then I'll see you next week with another one. Bye!